Okay, so Guinness Records. I have two Guinness Records. The first one was the fastest 10 meters walked on a slackline on pointe in ballet shoes. And then the second one was done in high heels, and I did 25 jumps from butt to feet on a slackline in 1 minute in high heels. So those are two of my main creative things that I've done on the slackline, and I'm happy that they were recognized by Guinness World Records. I want to make this video to help other slackliners to obtain records, because as we know, it's really hard to do it with trick lining. We've all heard about highlining Guinness Records, which is a lot of teamwork and a lot of gear involved in projects like this. I want to share my experience to make it easier for people who also want to apply for a Guinness World Record. So there are two ways to get a Guinness World Record. The first one is to invite a representative from Guinness World Records. It's a costly way to do it, but like some organizations can afford it. So they invite a representative. Beforehand, they check what records are going to be done, all the details about them, and then the person who does the record would get the certificate the same day. It usually gets some TV attention, or it's published on the internet afterwards. I'm going to tell you about the other way to do it. So first of all, let's talk about what kind of records Guinness World Record is looking for. So if we open the book, it's Guinness World Records 2019, and there is actually a slacklining page in it. So if we look at it, it's mostly highlighting world records right here, and then some creative stuff down here. So this is what I suggest to focus on. So let's read about it. Greatest distance traveled on a slackline while juggling 3 objects. Longest distance traveled on a slackline by unicycle. Greatest distance traveled on a slackline by bicycle. Most side serves on a slackline in 1 minute. Longest duration controlling a soccer ball on a slackline. Most Korean butt bounces on a slackline in 1 minute. So as you can see, there is a lot of opportunities here. Even if we just check online for records that have been done, like other records that have been done with slacklining. If you go on Guinness World Record website and search slackline in their records, you'll see all the slackline records that have been done. So there are 18 results for slackline. Highest slackline walk, 12 meters up the air. Fastest 100-meter slackline walk. Longest duration juggling on an elevated slackline. Then this is the first triple butt flip, which is like the only probably thing that was done with tricks. Greatest distance traveled in a slackline while on a bicycle. Yeah, that's where I saw this one. Most stock whip cracks on a slackline in 1 minute. So if you create your account here and you log into your account, you can actually see a full list of records, because 18 is not the full list of records. So if we look for slackline after logging in, we could also see records that probably were created but nobody applied yet, or maybe somebody is in the process of their application being reviewed. Like, let's see, most consecutive backflips on a slackline. This one, it doesn't have the record holder yet. Then there is another one that does have a holder. It's most consecutive skips on a slackline by an individual. Okay, let's see the other ones. Okay, so this is what gets interesting. Most bananas sliced with a sword on a slackline in 1 minute.
It was 36 bananas, and it was achieved by Ashita Furman from Jamaica, New York, USA, on August 2013. Okay, here's another one that doesn't have a current record holder yet. Most 360 spins on a slackline in 1 minute. Most back somersaults on a slackline in 1 minute. I'm not sure if it's the same like backflips, or maybe they mean feet to feet. Most front somersaults on the slackline in 1 minute. Greatest distance traveled on the slackline while juggling 3 knives. Has no record holder yet. Most knives thrown at a target while balancing on a slackline in 30 seconds. No record holder yet. So there's a bunch of opportunities for new records. I think what they're looking for is something creative, something unique, like, I don't know, most spits in a target on a slackline in 1 minute. Most, I don't know, farts. Most mouse traps released in a ton, they have it without a slackline, but you can do it on a slackline. Like there is a bunch of, like there's like so many ways you can come up with a new record. Because I think like this book, if you look through it, it's mostly like creative stuff. It's something that is unique, creative, sometimes funny, and from my experience, like it's really hard to do it with tricks, even though like there are some record titles with tricks. But let me tell you how to actually submit a record. Like let's say you decided to do most bananas peeled on a slackline. I don't know, something that you came up with and you think it's a good idea. First thing you need to do is to create your account on their website. Once you create an account, you submit your record. You don't even have to do it yet, but you can submit the title for the record. If you tried it, you can show how many like banana you peeled on a slackline in 1 minute. Then the hardest part, you have to wait for 3 months for them to reply. And the reply can be either, oh, we like your record, go ahead and do it, or go ahead and submit evidence for it, or it doesn't work for us. So if your record is submitted, you can submit many records. So if they like one of the records that you submitted, then you can go ahead and submit your evidence. So there are a couple of things you need to know about submitting or doing the record. First of all, any record on the slackline has to be done at least 1 meter off the ground. That's their parameter that they don't want to change, is 1 meter off the ground. Then you have to record at least, I would do like 2-3 cameras recording your record, 2-3 witnesses, and witnesses have to be like specialized. If somebody is measuring time, they have to have like some experience with measuring time. Maybe at high school they were doing some sports related activities measuring time, like have a timer or something. If you're doing like some tricks, there should be somebody like a slackliner who knows that you did the trick well. It's not super strict, but you have to have, it would be helpful to have that experience for people who are witnessing your record. I would record it from different angles with a few cameras. If you're measuring the time, then one camera has to show the time, and then in the background the action that's happening, so they would see that it was done with a timer. Then you have to take pictures of everything. Pictures of the slackline, if it's like you're doing it in special shoes, pictures of shoes, pictures of the setup, pictures of the timer you used, everything. And you have to, one more important thing, you have to do measurements in one take with your record. So if you're doing like the longest distance, then it has to be measured in
in within the same take as your record. Like you can do your record and then you can measure everything, like the height of a slackline, the length of a slackline, the width of a slackline, like everything you can actually think of, you have to video record and take a picture of. Then it's helpful to create some good shots of your record, like you holding a banana if it's a banana peeling thing or something, because if your record goes through, then it would be great to use that for the for publicity record, like for publicity. There are some shows that are released every year and around fall, but they're just focused on Guinness World Records. And if your record is interesting, you might get invited to like some country like in Europe or China and perform your record or beat your own record. So that's the publicity you can get from the record. You can also sometimes get like put in a book. Like I was lucky enough to be in this book. That's why I have it. Yeah, I'm under extreme performance, and this is me in ballet shoes. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll try to help you as much as possible with this. Bye!